There's still some cosmetic work that needs to be done. Some of the fences need to be pulled together. The dugouts, a little work done on that. But again, we have two softball fields out there that could be used for little league baseball if need be, or t-ball. And I know there's people out there that utilize those two parks for practicing their children. And then we've got the tennis courts. Again, a little work needs to be done, but we have two courts there. Person wants to go out and sharpen their skills, they're available. Basketball court. You want to go out and play a little one-on-one, work on your free throw shooting, do some things like that, 3-on-3. Those are available. But the main thing is the pool. Steve reported that I think they've been open 10 days, and we had a little over 1,100 participants.
Wow.
Which was great. And, of course, that is the beginning of the year, and that will taper off as people go on vacations and things of that nature. But still, yet, that's a great start. And I think we have 19 pool parties that have been booked so far. But again, the concessions, of course, being new, I went out and I asked people some questions. I mean, what do you think about the city-county park? What can we do different? Well, one of the things I got back was the concessions. Well, no, not true. I'm going to have to say that our concession stand out there is very, very cheap, not in the sense of being cheap,
right,
but being inexpensive as far as compared to others around this area.
It is.
I mean, a snow cone for $1. I would encourage people, if you're driving around in the afternoon, if you pick up your children from Little League practice, Youth Incorporated practice, go out there and buy some snow cones. They also have a combo meal. You send your child out to the pool, $5 for the pass, another $5 maybe to spend on food. Well, they've come up with a combo meal, which I think is about $3.50, and
wow,
it has a lot in it that the child is not going to get hungry while he's there for $3.50. So our city-county park is those employees are doing a tremendous job, and we need to support it.
Well, and then, they don't have to go out of town for that either. That's right here.
Yes.
They don't have to drive 30 minutes to get to it.
No, and there are things that we'd like to see added. Like I said, that was my first meeting. But I listened to Steve, I listened to other board members, and we discussed things that are needed. The staff out there, Steve, they don't have a four-wheeler. They don't have a little tractor that they can grade down the dirt for the fields. I mean, I think Brian Phelps brings his four-wheeler out there before practices for Youth Incorporated and drags the fields. So that's something that's needed. So if you're listening out there and you've got an old 80 Ford or something sitting around that you don't need, City County Park would be glad to have it.
You mentioned earlier a lot of participants. I know that the leadership group, Phil Vanhooser's leadership group, usually comes out there and they do a lot of volunteering, painting, sprucing up to get the park ready for opening up during the season, don't they?
They're the ones, I think, that spread the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
They might have been even the ones that were able to get the dirt delivered, but I am sure they're the ones that, almost positive, they're the ones that leveled it up. But yeah, and the Princeton Optimist Club, we just donated $250 toward a family night. We're going to have a movie night. We're going to show a movie. Steve was talking about that. It went over great last year, so we're going to have a movie night. You can swim, you can watch a movie, you can take advantage of the concession stand. Just bring the family. There'll be more details coming up later on that as soon as we work everything out. But
see, I think that's neat.
Well, I'm going to be out knocking on doors. I'm going to be coming to the Kiwanis Club, the Rotary Club, asking for those organizations to also step up and maybe sponsor something like that. Swim lessons. Well, we get, people, swim lessons are too high. They're too expensive. Well, figured it up. You're looking at 6 hours, and there's usually 3 lifeguards there to help. And, you're looking at maybe $12.50 an hour for a swim lesson. And you're getting individual attention. I mean, there's usually, I think Steve, the board member, said there was maybe 2 swimmers, sometimes 3 per lifeguard. And so that's individual attention. And for $12.50 an hour, I don't know where you're going to beat that. And to teach your young person, your child to swim is very, very important. I mean,
well, and you may think, well, we go fishing every once in a while, but they're not a big swimmer. They're not really into the water slides. It's really, they can tread water. They don't need it. That is, it's safety that is just invaluable. That, if they fall out of the boat, if they happen to, accidentally fall off the edge of a pond 20, 30 years down the road, that's something that can save their life for the rest of their life for $12.50. I did it when I was a kid, and it was right here at the City County Pool. That's where I learned to swim, and I took swim lessons out here, and I will never forget that. And that's something that has stayed with me my entire life and probably saved my life on more than one occasion.
Well, I mean, it's $75 for 4 days, 2 weeks. So, and there's makeup days too.
And those lifeguards, they're well trained, and it's an investment for those kids. And Steve has lots of those young people come back each and every summer. They make that lifeguard training investment. They're qualified to teach your kids to swim. Yep. My kids learned out there as well. Those lifeguards make an investment in themselves to work all summer, but they're also qualified to teach your kids to swim.
Maybe $165 is what it costs those lifeguards, those youth, those students to get certified, and they went to Murray. Well, man, I wish I won the lottery. I'd pay off some debts, and if I had any money left over, I would put it towards our lifeguards. Those young people are getting paid minimum wage, and it's a summer thing. Like you said, it's a 2-year, or at least 2 years they're certified, but still, they're qualified, they're dedicated. I got to watch some of them while I was out there Tuesday night, and I've been out there before. I've made some pictures. But, folks, if you're not taking advantage of our City County Park, you go back, 5 years ago, maybe 6, when we had to invest, hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that facility back into shape where it could be used. And it's beautiful. I mean, it is. You go out there, and that staff out there, lifeguards, I mean, they keep it clean. And so you need to go take advantage of what we have to offer here in Princeton. Oh, there's nothing to do. Yes, there is. That City County Park offers you a great deal. Family nights. See, let me throw this out. And again, Planters Bank. Oh, Jake Pepper. They had, I think, a family night last year for all of the employees and their families. Well, we need to, look at some of the other businesses here in Princeton, Caldwell County, Fredonia, to do that. Let's have us a family night. Let's say that our employees and the family can go out there. Well, you're building a good relationship between your employees, and you're also helping the Caldwell County, Princeton Caldwell County pool, the park board, or the park there. We know that budgets for the county and budgets for the city are starting to get a little tight. So, they just don't have all the money to throw into keeping it up and doing things. I mean, there is a budget. Both of them, Coda was there and Larry was there Tuesday night. We discussed financing, and there's just a lot of things, though, that can be done. Community support. We got to get, like I said, the Optimist Club. We donated Tuesday night, I guess, when we met, is $250 toward a movie night. And I think that's great. And if somebody else wants to step up and do that, contact Steve and the ladies out there at the park, and they'll be glad to accommodate you and work something out.
What's that old saying? If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. You know,
True.
if you want to hold on to something, you need to take care of it. You need to you put some time and energy into it and go out and visit. I'll tell you, my mom takes, we got to say hi to Eli.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Eli.
But Eli goes out there all the time, and she has a picnic with him at the park. And that's at least a once a week thing for my mom and Eli. They go out and they have a little picnic there at the park. If you want to go out to the park, there's more to do than just to swim. They don't have to just go swimming.
One thing we discussed was trying to get donations and grants for playground equipment.
Right.
You know, playground equipment's not cheap. Back when I was growing up, you know, we had a tower on a rope, and that was pretty good, or you could slide down a bank or something like that. But those days are pretty well gone. But playground equipment, we discussed it, it's not cheap.
No.
So we talked about looking for grants to help put some playground equipment in. And Ty may remember this, you may, but we used to have a miniature golf, the Princeton Optimist Club.
Yes.
I was going through pictures earlier this week. But it's, you know, vandalism took its toll on that. And that's something that we need to look at is that playground equipment. Other events, you know, I like kickball. And I'd mentioned that on Facebook and got a lot of response. And hopefully we can start maybe bringing in some of the churches, some of the organizations to just participate in a little fun kickball. But when I was at the Sportsplex in Paducah, we had kickball tournaments, and we had teams coming from Indianapolis, Louisville, Cincinnati. I mean, that's a big thing. And those are big guys and that come to participate too. So, you know, but that's something we need to look at is expanding the activities. Now, Steve and the staff, they can't coordinate all those events. They can't be the ones out there doing it. So it's going to have to be some of us that's going to have to step up and help out.
Well, and that's, you know, that is an idea. When we walk into our fellowship hall there at church, there's a case there with some trophies, and if you start reading them, where the churches used to get together and have softball tournaments, and they'd have kickball tournaments and basketball, and we used to do that when I was a kid, when I was in church. So, you know, maybe we can start bringing some of those things back and integrating that into the park and utilizing it. And the more we use it, and the more we volunteer. That's
True.
And you don't have to be out there every single day from, 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. volunteering. If you've got a few hours a week, let them know. Say, hey, I've got a few hours a week or once a month or every other week. And, is there anything I can help you guys do out there to help it keep it as nice as it is? I bet you they can find something.
Yes.
No doubt about it. In June, the past, I know, 15 years at least, the Princeton Ham Radio Club has their field day out there, and of course they invite everybody to come out. We operate usually under the pavilion. We've operated on the front lawn before. I remember last year, maybe the year before last, softball fields were full. They had an out-of-town, several Clarksville teams came up, and they had a nice tournament while we were having our event. And the camaraderie is just great. And here are these folks where they said, we couldn't find anywhere to play down our way, or the fields were full. We like this facility. They were from Clarksville.
Yeah.
And so, and it worked out great for them.
David Brown, those from Youth Incorporated, we've got the fields there at Ratley Park, and I still call it Ratley Park.
Right.
I don't know what the proper terminology.
I still think it's Ratliff Park.
But, then you have two fields out here to City County, and you got Fredonia. So we could utilize all of those fields, and we could have a great tournament here. And I know Danny Beavers and I was on the show with Todd, I guess about 2-3 weeks ago. And we were talking about the old green fence, the fence that used to be out there. We could put that back up and have a fantastic tournament, call it the green fence, whatever.
There you go.
But we got Fredonia's Field. I was down there last night. Super, great place. So you have those at Radley Park, you have City County Park, and you have Fredonia. Put all those fields together, and we have something to offer that several communities in this area do not have to.
Well, Caldwell County is fortunate and blessed to have, several areas like that and a lot of really great athletes that's come out of it because of that. So, I mean, if we can continue that and keep that going, man, how many more Emma Tallies could we have?
Well, you look at that. You look at we had several that have baseball scholarships.
That's right.
And football scholarships and basketball, Darren. But we have a lot of things to offer here. But just talking about volunteers, Ty and I both know Kiwanis Club, Optimist Club, we're losing our youth. We're fortunate that in Optimist Club we picked up about 4 very young members that hopefully will be able to carry on the tradition. But, volunteers are needed.
For all our civic organizations, and as well as any time you get a chance to serve your community, it's just a good thing to do. So, if you get a chance to or get asked by a Rotarian or Kiwanian, a Lions Club member, or an Optimist member, check it out.
Doesn't
Because
cost you anything to
they're-
check it
they're
out,
doing
right?
good. They're doing great things in our community, and it's just a good thing to do. Roy Jean, tell us a little bit. Is this your first stint on the City County Park Board?
Yes.
Who are the other board members? Not to put you on the spot or anything,
Well,
but
Judy Randolph, she was appointed along with me. Fish Adams is on there. Laura Lee, out at the elementary
at
school.
the school,
Laura
or
Lee
Lee
White.
White. Mhm.
Yes, and trying to think. Those were the ones that were present here the night. Now the city still needs to appoint 2 more members.
Okay.
Because they expanded the board. They were having trouble getting a quorum, and they expanded the board.
And it is the City County Park, so you also have representation, of course,
from both.
Judge Executive Curling
Yes.
and Mayor Dakota
Coda
Young. So
yeah, I was hoping Coda would be here because he gave us some information Tuesday night about some events that may be coming up at the City County Park. I don't want to get ahead of him, but just to give you a kind of a teaser, I know we're working on a fireworks for that weekend, and then there's a musical scheduled, or where he is working on that for like the 5th and 6th of July. So we're trying to schedule some things in to bring people out there. But again, the concession stand is great. Please, I mean, if you're driving around here, again, go out and check the concession stand out and
get your feet wet. And I mean that funny.
Yeah,
If you want to get your
Well-
feet wet with the City County Park, if you haven't been out there for a while,
Hit the
go check it out.
concession stand, go
It-
sit in the shade at the pavilion, and have a little picnic
sit by the
see
pool
what's going
or
on.
there
whatever,
may
yeah.
be. Yeah, there's a landlubber's fee of $2. You can go in, just sit there, but you're probably going to catch some people practicing. I know I have a granddaughter that she practiced out there for softball, and a lot of things that can be done at the City County Park, and we've got things that we need to do. And again, like I say, I'd challenge the businesses here. I know I'm almost positive McDonald's had a party out there for their employees last year or a year or so ago, and why not do that? Why not reward your employees? I mean, WPKY, Beth Mann could do that, and bring over WKDZ, those employees over there, and just have a grand old night out there.
We'll beat Bill up.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
push him off the slide.
But there are things that can be done at the city county park, but it's got to be volunteer. Again, the budget is tight, and our employees, those that are out there right now, are working. Steve said, and he's like a lot of other people that do volunteer work, and your reward comes from seeing students that are walking out 62, riding their bicycles out there, just to come and share a good time with maybe some fellow students or people like that and meet new friends. There may be some there that you can establish a friendship with.
We were talking about the skating rink a lot yesterday.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was kind of our thing we were talking about. But,
Right
during
over
the
here.
summertime,
Yeah.
during the summertime, the pool was the place to go. And if we weren't in the pool, we were out playing volleyball or we were doing something all the time there at the park. So, I mean, that is something that we, get involved, take the kids out there, take the whole family out there. And we need to get to the point where there's something going on just constantly.
Yes. Yes.
You drive by and you're, what is that? What they got going on over there? It's amazing where looky-loos can drag in a lot of people just by
most definitely.
them going
True.
by.
Yeah.
So we're going to change gears here in just a second because I hear there's a golf scramble in the works. I hear that that's something that's coming up, so we want to talk about that for just a couple of minutes anyway. 838, 1580, 103.3, WPKY, Tess and Ty. Hang on. Fifteen eighty 103.3 WPKY with Tess and Ty on Coffee Talk. And we're changing gears just a little bit. I did promise that I was going to tell you about the golf scramble. There is a 4-person golf scramble out at the Princeton Golf Club. And, of course, your registration is due by July 1st. So if you've got your buddies, get them together for the 4-person golf scramble. There's going to be prizes for first, second, and prizes on every hole. And there's going to be lots of things that you can do out there. It's going to be a good time. I believe they're actually going to put together a sack lunch for you as well. Hey, what a better way to
Great
spend a
event.
Friday. Hello.
Great event out there, yeah.
Maybe I can get my buddies together. If only I had a friend. Oh, wait, there's Rascal. I bet Rascal will be my buddy. What do you want to
Rascal's
bet? Hi, buddy.
Rascal's good looking.
Oh, he is so cute. We were just talking about Rascal earlier today because he was actually lost. And, of course, this is the Caldwell County Animal Shelter. And we want to thank you for everything you do, by the way, first and foremost. I mean, we are appreciative of everything that they do out there for all of us because they really do have a good service out there. And that's something that is hard to find because those folks are running up and down the road and answering the phones and feeding the pups and giving baths and walks and all that kind of stuff when nobody else will. And that takes a lot of time and love and energy.
It certainly
and
does.
we sure do appreciate them. But this is Rascal.
That's Rascal. Rascal
He's-
is beautiful.
He's adorable, isn't he?
Yes. Judy, tell us about Rascal.
Okay, Rascal.
Well, first of all, we'll talk about Judy. Hi, Judy.
Hi, good morning.
There you are.
Now we can hear
This is the
her.
first time I've met Judy.
Yep.
Oh, really?
First time.
Yeah.
We've been down here for a while, but this is the first time we've met you too.
Well, she is one of those dedicated people who never seem to tire and are always working with those pretty puppies.
Well, Rascal, he's between 4 and 5 months old.
Oh.
He's a mix, so we're not sure what he's mixed with, but he's just a real cutie, and he's very, very good. He likes people. He had a little bug where he just had like a one-day bug. We're not sure what caused that. Might have been he came in with it, I guess.
Right. What
So
did you
he's
get
been on
into?
medication. Yeah.
He's a good-looking boy,
Oh,
isn't he?
he is. He's
Yeah, he really
calm.
is. Yeah. We don't know what size he's going to be. He doesn't really have huge feet, but he's probably going to be about a medium size. And he was found around Cave Street. So if anybody's looking for him, just come to the shelter. But we just hope he's not a drop, one of those.
Right.
But whatever, if he stays at the shelter, he's going to get a good home for sure.
I don't think he's going to stay homeless for very
Oh,
long.
no, he won't.
Not when somebody takes a
Puppies
look at him,
don't.
I don't think.
He is way too cute. He's well mannered. He's very
Oh, yeah.
quiet.
He's almost shy. Look at the way
He
look
is
at him. He's like
almost
turning
Well,
his
he
head.
likes,
and-
he likes to be
Aw.
Look at
held,
that.
so he's obviously been in a home.
right.
Yeah.
Can you tell is he potty trained? Is he house trained?
Oh no, not yet. No.
Not yet?
No,
Okay.
not that we can tell, and I doubt that he is.
So you got your brand new Ariats laying around. Rascal probably doesn't need to stay in the same room with the brand new Ariats.
Probably not, but he's a fairly young little guy. Looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty young. Kind of has the dark. He really the cool feature that he has. He's kind of got. I don't want to say what kind of breed I think he is, but he's got the colorings and he's got the really distinct tan eyebrows.
Yeah.
In a beautiful black mask.
Oh, he's just so cute. Got the little tan on his ears, tan on the feet. He's got kind of a white chest there.
And tan socks.
Yeah. He's
that.
got tan socks
He's got
on.
tan
I mean,
socks
how can you not love a guy with tan socks?
There you go.
Especially when they're 4 months old. You know, yeah, when they're 40 years old, yeah, we'll talk. But when they're 4 months old, they're just now he's actually. We're going to make sure that we try to post a picture of this guy on our Facebook page, and this is our pet of the week, and his name is Rascal. And of course, you have another dog out there named Goliath.
Oh yeah, you got to come by and see Goliath. He is just beautiful. His pictures don't do him justice, and we're not sure, what breed he is, but he evidently is a special breed. I looked it up, and he could maybe be a Dutch Shepherd.
Oh wow!
Shepherd.
Yeah, but he's got a beautiful, beautiful brindle coat. He looks like he's been well taken care of, and maybe just been groomed.
Oh,
when I had looked
wow.
at it.
And
So we're
he
hoping
was-
that the owner will see him and
Just a
come
lost
and get
boy.
him. Yeah, because he obviously.
And we believe he was local. I mean,
he
it's-
was found on Dawson Road.
Okay, well, that's about
Yeah.
as local as you get, huh?
Yeah, so we're hoping with all the Facebook shares that his owner is found, because it's obvious that he has been in a home and he's lost.
And he's now you did say he was a couple of years old, right? That you guys
Yeah,
think
that's
that
what
he
we
is.
think.
Now
We-
he's house trained as well. I'm guessing at that age, or no?
I would think so. He's very gentle when we had him out. When you first look at him, because of his size and his coloring,
Right.
you think, oh, is he going to be friendly? Yeah. He's a sweetie, really sweet, very gentle when we had him out for his pictures. So,
I wish you could see this little guy. Little
Oh, yeah.
rascal would climb in her skin if he could. He is, I got his head on her chest, and just it seems like he's almost about to fall asleep.
yeah, he loves to give kisses. Loves to kiss, don't you, boy?
Well, now who else do you have out there? Other than we've got Rascal and we've got Goliath, and we got anybody else out there that we could
have,
give a?
We have 2 more pups that are out there, but they're only about maybe 4 weeks old.
Okay.
And they were found on Shepherd Street, and so
Are they going to be large? Do you know?
they look like they've got a little pit in them.
Okay.
So we're going to try. I talked to Irene about it this morning, and go ahead and get them into rescue because
Okay.
they're so small, and because of their breed too.
Right.
And she thought that someone saw the mom, and she
Oh.
was real thin, but we couldn't get the mom.
Well, there's been a lot of them, lost and found and that sort of thing in the area.
So-
Yeah, it seems like over the last couple of weeks, it seems like our lost and found list has really been a whole lot longer for some reason.
It's the summer.
Right. They're getting out and running, and they really start, squirrel! Let me go. I gotta go chase the squirrel.
And they're 3 miles from home after that.
Right.
Yeah.
By the time they stop and they turn around, God bless them, they say, "What? Wait a minute. This doesn't look familiar. Did I run past there?" Of course, that happens, and that's why we tell them to, try to keep a leash on them. If they're an
Exactly.
inside dog and they're not used to being outside, put a leash on them so that when they do hit the grass, they don't go nuts and forget where they are, right?
Right, right. It's important if you're going to let your dog out, to be with the dog also, because we seem to be getting a lot within the city. And the other day I saw a little dog about Rascal size and almost hit him. He was just out in the street, no leash, didn't see the owner or anything, but I think he found his way home because I saw the home that he ran up to.
And we're getting into fireworks season, and you know what that
Well,
can do.
yeah.
And it
Exactly,
scares them
exactly.
and spooks them, and they can run and they can get scared, and it just they can get disoriented. Now we still want to have fun.
Yes.
It's, but just remember that if you have pets or know someone to have pets, it might be a good time to bring them in.
Hot car season. That's another
That one
season
too.
we're in the
Exactly.
middle
That
of.
one
We
too.
are smack dab in the middle of that.
Exactly.
What hints and tricks or whatever? I mean, when it comes to, our best friend, we want to take them. It's not anything that we want to be fair. We want them to go too, and when we're gonna have fun and we're gonna go to the lake or we're gonna go, bother Ty, we want to take them along, and it's because we love them. What do we do when we want to take our pets? What's the right way to do it? With them
Well-
hanging out the window, or that's not right, right?
Well, I'd say if you want to take your pet and it's an especially hot day, make sure that you don't leave the pet in the car. Because if you have your windows up and somebody sees your pet in the car and the temperature is really hot outside, they're going to try and break your window to get that dog out, or they're going to call the police. But don't go around breaking the windows, But I'm just telling you, if someone sees a pet in the car and the temperature is really, really hot, then they're going to think, okay, well, you don't know what you're doing. You're not a responsible pet owner. And but I'd say if it's really hot and you're going to take the pet, stay with it in the car.
How often do they need water?
I'm sorry.
How often do they need water? I mean, that's, we know how much a human needs all day long. How, it doesn't have to be exact, but about how often would you make sure they get a good bowl of water while they're out running around?
Oh, I'd say every couple hours or so, and just make sure that water is always available on hot days.
Is there any signs that they may be getting too hot? Because we can't look at them and see if they're
Well,
sweating
they're
profusely
gonna be
or.
lethargic. They're going to be breathing hard, and they're just not going to be their normal self.
Right.
Because they really sweat through their paws.
Do they really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
That's
that.
how they sweat, is through their paws.
I'd always
Learn
heard their
something
tongue.
every day.
Yeah.
Tongue and nose, but yeah, I didn't know they
Yeah,
sweat through
and
their
they will
paws
be
either.
breathing hard. You'll know.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
your
Well,
dog-
how do we get them back? Once they've gotten too hot, do we need to give them a little something to eat, something to kind of the blood sugar get that going, like same way you do with a human?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, if you think that they have really heat exhaustion, then I'd go to the vet.
Okay.
I mean, if it's not acting really normal.
Right.
But try to give it some water and get it to a cooler location.
Okay.
And make sure in the hot weather that your dogs have dog houses or have some kind of shelter out there when it's really
Shade
hot.
is good.
Mhm,
I don't want to sit out
exactly.
in the middle of the yard, in the middle of the sun with a fur coat on in
Right.
July.
But you'll
I
go
don't.
around and you'll see dogs, tied outside without
Right.
anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's a good question. And I was supposed to ask you this morning. I almost forgot about it because we were talking about going in the car. My children, I'm not going to pick out which one. Now, one of them can't talk, Eli, so it's one of the other two. But they want to know, if you're in the car with your dog, are you supposed to let them hang their head out the window? Because some people say that keeps them from throwing up a little bit of, fresh air and that sort of thing. Or, is that true? I mean, is that something that they need, the fresh air, or?
Well, they like to hang their head out the window because they like the breeze and the air. And that's just something with a dog. The thing that you need to watch, though, is that could affect their eyes if there's debris flying or anything like that. If you're just going for a slow drive, yeah, that's fine. But if you're on the expressway, no, I wouldn't do it.
I have seen Fido hanging out the
Yeah.
window at 70
Oh, yeah.
mile an hour before. I have.
Mine loves to do it, but I just try to use my own judgment and kind of keep
Exactly.
him tied down. But Judy, I have friends that are passionate about animals, especially dogs. I can tell you are. What's your passion about these animals and taking care of them?
Well, because they're homeless, for one thing, and then a lot of them that come in, you can tell that they haven't had good homes, and it's just shelter dogs. I really am special about them because they don't get as much. They don't get as much as dogs in a rescue, because the shelters just don't get adequate funding, and that's true with all shelters. So I try to give them as much time and love as I can, but I'm getting older, and I've been doing this for this shelter for 3 years, and my mom just went into a nursing home. So I need somebody to
I
kind
was
of
just going to
step
ask you,
up.
what can we do to help you? What can
Yeah.
we do to help?
I need people to step up and come to the shelter. I need people to also work with rescues because you can't find a home here for every animal. You know
Right.
that because
Right.
you say your friends have animals.
Oh, yeah.
So the market here is pretty well saturated, unless you get a dog in like Goliath that everybody wants.
Right.
But he has to have the right owner too.
Right. Which is me.
And-
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just throw my name in the hat right there.
Raise your hand.
Me?
So we really need somebody to come in and take pictures, like I do the pictures for posting on our adoption sites. So I need that kind of help. We
Okay.
also need people to come in and spend time with the dogs.
Okay.
Because
Just walking, loving, doing what you're doing
just
now,
walking,
right?
Just come in and take a dog out for a few minutes because you'd be surprised at how much that means to a dog, just to see different people. And
Never
that
thought
gets
about
the,
that.
Yeah, and that gets the dog used to seeing other people. And then we can-
Socialization.
Yeah.
Exactly, and we can tell more about the dog that way because when we send a dog to a rescue or adopt a dog out, we want to be able to tell the people as much as we can about the dog.
Well, that's the first thing we ask her is it home? Is it, housebroken? How
Exactly.
friendly it is?
Yeah.
It does it want to play? And those are the types of things that people can just come out and spend time with them.
Exactly, it's really going to help the dog, and you'd be amazed at how much. Just 10 minutes, spend 10 minutes with a dog.
Hey,
you
it's
know.
also a good way to teach the kids to volunteer.
Exactly.
That's
Sure
a
it is.
really good way to, look at the kids and say, we need to give our time and love to the community. And here's a great way to do that. And now, do you need any treats, food, things like that? Do you take those type of donations as well? Maybe
we're-
they don't have time,
Yeah,
but
we're okay on food. If you want to bring by treats, that would be great.
okay. Well, and I will say on your website, you've got a puppy dog ice cream recipe
Oh, yeah.
on there.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try and make that treat. It's got banana in it, peanut butter, and then you freeze it. Like I said, our shelter dogs don't get too much. And that's also because we don't have people coming in
That's right.
to
Okay.
volunteer. So, and summer's a good time. People have extra time on their hands. You have some retired people out there like me that could come in and spend a
Hint,
little
hint.
time with the dogs.
Right. It was good timing because the park is right there, right beside you guys.
Exactly.
They can go have a picnic, walk a dog, make a whole afternoon of it. And, they really had a whole thing for the whole family.
And many of us that live here know where the shelter is, but
Yes.
why don't you tell everybody, Judy, how they can find the shelter? They might not, somebody out there might say, well, where is that place?
Okay, we're located on 49 Baker Hill Road, and that's the road that runs by City County Park.
How about that segue?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, now your phone number, if they have any kind of questions, the phone number is 365 1000. And of course, now they can use that during the week. What's your operational hours?
The hours are 10 to 4 on the weekdays, 10 to 2 on Saturday, and closed on Wednesdays.
Well, there you go. We've got tons of opportunities to go out there, and I'm telling you, once you take a peek at this little guy, you're going to want to go out and
Go
see
out there and
Rascal.
walk and visit with Rascal and
Yeah.
Goliath and the other dogs that are out there.
All
There you
right,
go.
and,
Say
and,
hi
you
to
know,
Judy
and if
and
they have
folks.
if you have a lost pet, we encourage you to use the 365-1000 to call the Caldwell County Animal Shelter, or you can also email that to us. And of course, we have a lost and found pet with Tess and Ty every day. We do that report for you, and you can send that to us at WPKYonline.com. And again, their phone number at Caldwell County Animal Shelter is 365-1000. We thank you so
Thank
much.
you
We
all.
Good to see
really
you this morning,
appreciate
Judy.
it.
Thank you.
You have a great one. And it's 8:58. Of course, stick around. One of the biggest things that you're going to want to know is the who, what, when, where, and why, and how, and where do I get to for the weekend. Of course, we're going to update you
We
on
got
all
it
of that.
for you.
And Audrey Lamb's going to be in. She's going to tell you all about the news, get you in the know, everything that you're going to need for that. Of course, if you're around everybody all weekend, you want to know what's going on and what's going around the water cooler,
Tell you when it might rain.
which is every day for the
yeah.
foreseeable future until the extended forecast. Now that's going to lighten up on Tuesday. You know what else what's going to happen with that? The temperatures are going to come down. The stickometer, the stinkometer, the sweatometer, whatever you want to call
That
that,
will be
that's
welcome.
actually coming down a little bit. You're talking about if it hits 80 next week, for the first few days, we'll be lucky. We're talking about just, kind of hovering right
80.
underneath 80. And for the middle of June, hey,
Take it.
I am not going to gripe about it. I'm going to take it and smile and say, thank you, Lord. I'll handle some of that.
You got it.
We're going to kick off your weekend in just a moment with Fox News on 1580 103.3 WPKY with Tess and Ty.